Hey everybody, this is Bill from GMAT and GRE Math Made Simple. Alright, we did the GMAT earlier today. Now we're going to go focus on the GRE. So today we're going to focus on solving quadratic equations. We're going to deal with one equation, and also going to deal with two equations that are in there. And then we're also going to go through and do a nice factoring question that could be more difficult, but we'll show you how to go through it. So let's get started. Okay, so the first two we have are solving quadratic equations with only one equation in it. So for the first one we have x squared. Don't know me. Let's see if I can get a different one. Let's see if this will work. There we go. We have x squared plus 3x minus 18. Now, when it comes down to solving these, we need to figure out what it is. We need to figure out what could this answer be. So what we can do is we can set it to 0 and then we can factor it. Okay? So we're trying to figure out equals 0. What times, okay, what gives us multiples of 18? What gives us the 18, you multiply them, that gives us 3 in the middle. So I'm thinking, okay, we have the musical multiples that we have for 18 would be 1, 2, 3, 6, 9, and 18. Which one of those ones, these pairs, will give us 3 in the middle? So when I look at it, we have 3 and 6, because that's the difference of 3 when it comes to doing that. But we see that this is negative. So one of them will be positive, one's going to be negative. And we see that the positive right here means that the number that's bigger needs to be on the positive side. So x plus 6, x minus 3. Okay? So now that we have our answer here, we can set each one of them to equal to 0. And we do that, we subtract 6, we'll add a 3, and add a 3, x equals negative 6, and x equals 3. So if you want to go in and check them, we can do that. We can put the negative 6 in here, so you have negative 6 squared plus 3 times negative 6 minus 18 equals 0. Or we have 3 squared plus 3 times 3 minus 18 equals 0. We'll start with the first one. Negative 6 squared is 36. Now we have plus 3 times negative 6, which gives us minus 18. And we already have minus 18 there. Equals 0. When you combine like terms, we have 36 minus 36 equals 0. And when you do that, 0 equals 0, and it checks out. Now for the other answer, we could always check it as well. 3 times 3, or 3 squared, is 9. Then we have plus, then we have 3 times 3 again, which is 9. Then minus 18 equals 0. When you combine like terms, we have 18 minus 18 equals 0. When 0 equals 0, it all checks out. Okay? So that's for the answer for number 12 that I posted earlier this week. For the next one, we have x squared minus 5x minus 66. Okay? So what are our multiples that give us 66? We have 1 and 66. We have 2 and 33. We have 3 and 22. 4 doesn't work. 5 doesn't work. 6 and 11 and 8, 9, 10. No, that doesn't work. So these are the only ones that we have for our least common multiple of 66. So let's figure out which one of these, when you add or subtract them, will give us a 5. We look at it, we see that this is too big, still too big, but this one works fine. So this is what we're going to be looking at. So set it up again, x, and this will still all equal 0, because that's what we're going for, trying to find x. So what are we going to use for the 6 to get 66? We have 6 and 11, so bam, bam, and 6. So we see that the bottom, this right here, is negative. So that means that since that's negative, this means the bigger number needs to be negative, and there we go. So we have x plus 6. If we want to go through and do this, we could go through, and well, I'll do it for this one. We if you want to use the FOIL method, it will be x times x, which is x squared, plus 6x, and then you have, there we go, minus 11x minus 66. When you go through and do it, this will give you this. Okay? So that's pretty much our answer for if this were not to work. So now let's go ahead and separate each one. X equals 11 equals 0, and x plus 6 equals 0. Now let's add 11 for here. We get x equals 11. Then we have subtract 6 for this one, and we get x equals negative 6. So now we'll go in and we'll check it. So let's put in the 11. We have 11 squared minus 5 times 11 minus 66 equals 0. Or we have negative 6 squared minus 5 times negative 6 minus 66 equals 0. So let's do this one first. 11 squared is 121 minus 5 times 11, which is 55, minus 66 equals 0. When you combine these two, it will be 121 minus 121 equals 0. And 0 equals 0. That checks out. So for this one, we have negative 6 squared, which will be 36. Then we said negative 5 times negative 6 now turn into a positive number. So we'll do 5 times 6, which is plus 30, minus 66 equals 0. Now when you do that, you combine the like terms, which is 66 minus 66 equals 0. And then when you do that, 0 equals 0, and bam. So that's the answer for the second one. Now these ones were only with one equation in them. Now we're going to go in and do a question that deals with two equations. Okay? So it says solve for x. We have x plus 1 over x minus 2 all over x minus 4 equals 0. Now we need to find x. Okay? So what we could do here is, since this is supposed to be equal, we can cross multiply. This could be considered a 0 over 1. So this will be 0 times x minus 4 equals x plus 1 times x minus 2. So this will go through and become 0, because 0 times anything is 0. And it equals x plus 1, and we can separate these ones since they're multiplication, and put 0 equals x minus 2. Okay? So just like we did before, we'll go through and we'll simplify this. We'll subtract 1, negative 1 equals x, and we'll add 2 to both sides, and 2 equals x. So when we look at this, we can see that these are the answers for this question. But let's put them in there. We'll see what happens. Okay, we have x plus 1, which is negative 1 plus 1 divided by x negative 1 minus 2 over negative 1 minus 4 equals 0. When we do that, we have negative 1 plus 1 is 0 times negative 3 over negative 5 equals 0. So 0 times negative 3 is 0. So 0 over negative 5 equals 0. And of course 0 equals 0. Because anything that's up in the denominator that is this is pretty much the same. We can put any number in here and it will still be the same. Because 0 in the numerator, will be 0 no matter what is in the denominator. So that is correct. So over here, this is good. Let's check the other one. So we have 2. So we have 2 plus 1. We have 2 minus 2 over x minus 4 equals 0. So when we do that, we have 3 times 0 divided by, which is 2 minus 4, which is negative 2, equals 0. When we do that, we have 0 over negative 2 equals 0, and 0 equals 0. So it works out. So in this case, the answers are both x is equal to negative 1 and 2. But also, it cannot be 4. The reason why x cannot be 4 is because of this right here in the denominator. If you put 4 in there, it'll be 4 minus 4 equals 0. But of course, that will be correct. I mean, 4 over 4. Anything over, let's put x there, 4 over 4, does not equal 0, it equals undefined. So we can't find an answer if it's undefined here. Anything that deals with a 0 in the bottom is undefined. So the answer would be it's x is negative 1, 2, and it cannot be 4. Because if it was 4, then it would be undefined, and we can't find the answer. Okay? Let's move on to the next question, which deals with factoring. Where's it going? Okay, so for this one, we have 4a squared plus 4ab plus b squared. And that equals 0. Okay? So right now we're just factoring. We're not trying to solve the question, we're just trying to factor it. So when we look at it, we're trying to figure out, okay, we have to just get our brackets going, equals 0. We see that in the front we have 4. So it's either 1, 4, or 2 and 2, because these are the least common multiples of 4. 1, 4, or 2 and 2. So, but they also have to add up to 4. So this is out, and we have 2a, 2a. Now we see that everything is positive from this point on. We have plus b and b. So b will be there. And this will be considered 1b. Same thing as these right here, 1b, 1b. And then what we'll do is, when we use the FOIL method, you'll see that this is a positive and this is 4. And since they're both 2 and 2, you just add, and that should give you your answer. And so this will be here your answer, or you could say 2a plus b squared. Now, let's check that to make sure that we get this right. So we have these two. Let's go through and use the FOIL method to go reverse engineer this. So we have 2a times 2a, which is 4a squared. Then we have 2a times 1b, which is plus 2ab. Then we have the inside, which is 2a times b plus 2ab. And then b times b plus b squared. Now let's combine like terms. We have 4a squared plus 4ab plus b squared, which is our original equation right up in here. Okay, so that's for that question. Let's go on to number 21, which is x squared. Oh, it's all dying on me today. X squared plus 22xy plus 121y squared. Okay, so this one is a little bit more simple because we don't have no number in the front here, so let's go on automatically put in x and x, because that means it's x squared, and you do the FOIL method. Now you're trying to figure out, okay, so what numbers when you multiply get us to 121 and get us to 22. So this should be easy because the least common multiple of 121 is either 1 and 121, and then 11 and 11. That's it. So it's quite simple for that part. So when you go either subtract or add them, this seems to be out because it's way too big, but this one works perfectly. So we do 11 and 11. But since both of these are both positive, that means both of these are both positive. And then that equals 0, and go from there. or you could say x plus 11 squared, because the answer will both be the same. Now if we want to go through and figure out this is the right answer, we'll go through and we'll do the actual multiplication. So x times x is x squared, then x times 11 plus 11x, then we have 11x in the middle, plus 11x, plus 11 times 11, which is, oh, I forgot to put in the y. Yeah, don't forget the variable, don't, because you'll get it wrong. So, on the small part, I forgot the variable, so this will be xy and xy. And then 11y times 11y will be 121y squared, okay? So now we have x squared, we'll combine the like terms, plus 22xy plus 121y squared. And this right here is what we have for our original equation. So that will conclude all the questions and answering for the questions this week. So from next week, I should tell you that we have a meetup tonight that deals with either GMAT or GRE. I said this on my GMAT video as well. So if you're interested in just having a virtual meetup and all that, it'll be on Zoom, and you can go and sign in through Meetup. The link is in my description, my bio description. So you can go in there and just look up around and you talk to other people. So far we got like 4 people on there. So we're going to keep building. And I hope to see you guys later tonight around 7 p.m. Eastern time, because I know you're all around the world. And I'll talk to you guys later. All right, bye-bye.